From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is on his way to Normandy, France, to mark the 80th anniversary of D-Day. The beginning of the end of the Second World War saw 160,000 Allied troops land on the beaches of Normandy on June 6, 1944. More than 4,400 Allied troops were killed that day, including 381 Canadians. Trudeau is set to attend a Canadian ceremony at Juno Beach tomorrow before heading to an international ceremony at nearby Omaha Beach. Now, Canada's delegation also includes 13 Second World War veterans. Honorary Lieutenant General Richard Romer is 100. He says this could be the last of the 10-year commemorations to feature living veterans of the Second World War.
There won't be any others to follow because we're running out of people. I'm 100 now, and so the opportunity to be there for the 80th is an important one to me because I was there from the beginning.
The group is missing 100-year-old gunner Bill Cameron, who fell ill and died early Saturday, just hours before he was to board a Vancouver flight to France. His daughters, Donna Roy and Cheryl Powell, say he'd been looking forward to this trip for months.
It just was so surreal.
Yeah, I mean, we just couldn't believe it.
No.
Unbelievable. I mean, his bag was totally packed. We were ready to pick him up.
Cameron's grandson will take his place at the ceremony tomorrow on Juno Beach. Toronto home sales were down nearly 22% in May compared to the same month last year, but the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board reports new listings jumped 21% as homeowners anticipate a bump in demand. The Bank of Canada will announce later this morning its latest decision on interest rates. Forecasters are widely expecting the central bank to lower its key rate by a quarter point for its first rate cut in over 4 years. The country's border guards could hit the picket lines Friday afternoon if they don't get a tentative contract agreement with the government by then. The Public Service Alliance of Canada says more than 9,000 border guards and other workers at Canada Border Services Agency have been working without a contract for over 2 years now. And Women's Shelters Canada is calling on phone companies to adjust how they respond to those escaping domestic violence. They say the costs of changing a phone number and difficulties leaving a shared plan are key barriers for victims.
The report looked at how Bell, Rogers, and TELUS staff reacted when they were called on behalf of a survivor who needed to change their number or wanted to leave a shared plan. Rhiannon Wong, the group's Tech Safety Canada project manager, says each company was contacted a total of 4 times.
We found that the answers to our questions really depended on the agent who answered our call.
The report makes several recommendations, including that customers be allowed to leave shared plans without the account owner's approval. Terry Theodore, The Canadian Press.
This is The Canadian Press. In sports, it was an offensive burst by the Baltimore Orioles at Toronto's Rogers Centre Tuesday night. Ryan Mountcastle homered twice and drove in 5 runs as the Orioles routed the Blue Jays 10-1. Orioles rookie infielder Connor Norby homered for his first major league hit. The two teams will play again tonight. In Cleveland, Kansas City shortstop Bobby Witt Jr.'s throwing error led to the Guardians scoring 3 runs on an infield grounder in the 7th inning as the Guardians won 8-5 over the Royals. As we await Saturday's start of the NHL Stanley Cup final between the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers, there's news in women's hockey about Canada's women's team. Melody Daou, a former MVP for the Olympics and an all-star forward with our team, has announced her retirement from competitive hockey. The 32-year-old Quebecer announced Tuesday that she's trading her skates for a coach's whistle at College Bourget in Rigaud, Quebec. From the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo.